Oh, be honest with y'all, bro, I don't see how he doesn't go to jail. I like Rampage Jackson. You guys know I think Rampage is awesome. But after looking at that footage, bro, like, they need to get a lawyer. Like, me just being dead ass. Like, he needs to get a good lawyer right now and be prepared. They're 100% going to come in and arrest him for that. I don't know what they're going to charge him with, but slamming him with the way that he did and punching him that many times, he needs to find a lawyer. He needs to, I don't even know why they're still on camera talking about it, to be honest with y'all. He should stay off camera. They shouldn't talk about this shit ever again and secure a lawyer or just sit tight. Because the police are absolutely coming. There's no way they're not going to make an arrest after that, bro. There's no way. There's probably an insane amount of pressure on the local cops to do something. And that obviously wasn't in the scripted, wrestling event. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just don't see a scenario where he doesn't get arrested, bro. I just don't see it. Because the police department's going to be under an insane amount of pressure to do something because it's so viral now. It's so viral. They have to do something. I hope the guy's all right. I hope he's not like seriously injured. That's because that could really create some issues too. If he's like seriously injured. So we'll see what happens. You guys know I like Rampage. I don't know his son, but praying for the best for everybody involved.
What started as a playful in-ring skit quickly spiraled into chaos. During a live wrestling show, Rampage Jackson's son, Raja, was streaming when a wrestler jokingly cracked a prop can over his head. At first, it seemed like nothing more than harmless theater. But what happened next left fans stunned. When Raja stepped into the ring later that night, the plan was for him to be part of a light-hearted routine. Instead, things took a violent turn. Raja slammed his opponent with real force, knocking him out cold on impact. Shockingly, he didn't stop there. He mounted the unconscious wrestler and delivered a barrage of heavy shots straight to the jaw. The footage spread online almost instantly, igniting outrage. Many in the MMA world couldn't believe what they were watching. Some analysts, including the MMA guru, even claimed Raja looked like he was trying to finish the fight for real, in the most brutal way possible.
MMA legend Rampage Jackson has a son called Rampage Jackson, and what I'm about to show you, in my opinion, is blatantly attempted murder. And I believe that Rampage Jackson should go to jail for a very long time. I'm not talking about months. I'm not talking about a couple of years. I'm talking 30 to 40 years at least for what I consider to be blatant attempted murder from Rampage Jackson. I think that Rampage Jackson, and what I'm going to show you in today's video, is going to show you everything, okay? I have every moment, every bit of context, every single thing that happened in order, okay? Even some other moments here that I'm going to show you that a lot of people haven't even seen yet about this whole situation because everyone's only reacting to this. End of discussion. You are a dumb animal that does not belong in society. You have forfeited that right because you have proven yourself as an unevolved human. Go sit in a cage for 30 to 40 years where you fucking belong, you dumb animal. End of discussion. That is attempted murder. I am going to give you context for this whole situation, but Rampage Jackson, the son of Rampage Jackson, is a dumb, unevolved animal with no understanding of thought process of anything, and he belongs in a fucking cage for the rest of I don't know how long, the next few decades at least. In my opinion, this is attempted murder, okay? We're going to go through the context of this, which we don't even need to go through, regardless what happened, unless this guy over his shoulder just did that to him. There is no excuse for this behavior. Unless this guy over his shoulder just did exactly that to someone Rampage Jackson knows or loves, or someone who is Rampage Jackson, unless this guy did it to Rampage Jackson before Raja did this back to him, there is zero excuse. Zero excuse.
Observers were quick to point out that Raja kept throwing shots even after his opponent was visibly motionless. To many fans, this wasn't a slip-up or an accident. It crossed the line completely. They argue it wasn't entertainment anymore, but uncontrolled violence taken far beyond what anyone expected in the ring.
It may have hurt as much as a little bouncy ball bouncing off the side of his head. There is no impact on that. He smashed a fake can of drink full of vapor and air on Raja's head. It's a wrestling gimmick. It's like getting hit with a fake glass bottle. So this guy is a wrestler that thinks Raja is in on the bit. Just like how Randy Orton, if he knew I Show Speed was coming to a WWE event or wherever he's wrestling at now, I don't know how it works, would maybe start a little interaction with Speed and hit him with a fake glass bottle. That's what this guy thinks he's doing. And you know what? I Show Speed would fucking roll with it because he's not a dumb animal that belongs in a cage. Okay? I Show Speed would fucking roll with it and he wouldn't attempt to murder him later in that stream. Then listen to what happens. After he says he's not a worker, bro, calm down.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
You're good. I think the guy's regretting, like, oh shit, this guy didn't know this was going down. Starts grabbing him a bit.
You gonna sell it? Yeah.
You gonna sell it? That's what he said. Are you gonna sell it? Are we gonna make this happen? Are we gonna make a bit out of this? You gonna sell it? Selling in WWE or in professional wrestling is when someone gets hit by a fake move. It's all fake.
Don't come out on your mat, Zeus. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I know you keep thinking we're working, but we're always working.
I get it. Yeah.
I get it, Raja says again, after they've apologized and calmed down.
Now Quinton Rampage Jackson has been forced to speak out. The former UFC star is standing by his son, insisting that Raja was provoked and that he believed everything happening was still part of the act. Rampage also revealed that Raja was dealing with the effects of a recent concussion and mentally wasn't in the right place to handle the situation. In his words, his son has been unfairly painted as a monster when the truth is far more complicated. But the wider fight world isn't convinced. MMA fans, pro wrestling supporters, and commentators are all echoing the same point. Nothing excuses unloading strikes on an unconscious opponent. Going that far off script, they argue, crosses a line that can't simply be explained away.
Rampage Jackson has responded to this, and this is where my anger comes from. Now, Rampage, of course, is going to very legally be delicate here. This is Rampage Jackson's response. I want to clear up the misinformation about my son Raja. There's none, it's on video, we all saw it. I've been confirmed that the wrestler, Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. This is not what they fucking meant, Rampage, and you obviously know that. But he doesn't want his son doing 40 years in jail. I thought it was a part of the show. Maybe shutting the fuck up right now would be a better option than this dumb shit. It was a bad judgment and a work that went wrong. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago. He got mildly wobbled, not even dropped, by a half-power spinning kick. Should not have been throwing spinning kicks in sparring. He was mildly wobbled. No excuse for this at all.
Raja attempts to take a defense in a court from a legal proceeding. The police have not arrested him. But we already know what happened and we've got it on video. And it's gross. And it is an assault. And it is outside of what was agreed upon in pro wrestling. And so many people have made this mistake in sport before, thinking, well, it's up to the referee. You know, whatever the referee says, but this was all part of sport. Like there is a piece of human psychology that works like that, but you have a police department that is in possession of this information and has not done an arrest. Why? Well, if Stu comes out and says this was all part of the spot, if he just says those words, no matter how much you're reworking reality and history, if he says those words, the police then look like fools. If Stu doesn't say those words and say, hey, this was not scripted, as a matter of fact, he's even given a confession. He's saying that he's doing this for retribution for something else that I did. You have a legal right to defend yourself. That's true. But there's a sustainable difference between defense and vengeance. And one of them is instantaneous and one of them is premeditated. So the police are in possession of a video which is highly against the law unless Stu comes out as a performer and says this was agreed upon. And you have no idea how far Stu would take that. Stu is clearly unconscious. In real life, he's unconscious, but is he going to come out and say that?
Many are already calling this one of the darkest moments ever witnessed in combat sports entertainment. Speculation is now swirling that Raja could face criminal charges, and the fallout has cast a heavy shadow over the entire event. Was this an uncontrollable burst of rage? Did he cross a line that can never be walked back? Or was it simply a young man making a disastrous mistake in the heat of the moment? The opinions are divided, but one thing is certain: the consequences could reshape his life forever. Rampage Jackson himself looks devastated, caught between shielding his son and acknowledging the seriousness of what took place. Fans have even resurfaced an old quote where Rampage once joked that he should save for his son's bail instead of his college tuition, a remark that now feels chillingly prophetic. The fighting world is locked in on this story. Wrestling promotions have condemned the act. Fans are demanding accountability. MMA outlets are questioning whether Raja Jackson should ever be allowed in a ring again. And perhaps the most shocking part of all, this entire spiral began with something as trivial as a prop can in a stage performance. So the looming question remains: is Raja headed for prison? Was this simply reckless aggression, or a glimpse at something far more disturbing?